Chapter 3, Lesson 11 on page 160 and page 161. We're going to be almost wrapping up the lessons with some equations and expressions and word problems, but if we go slow, we can usually decode what the problem is trying to say. Words are there just to confuse us, but if we go slow, again, we can figure out what the problem is asking us. Number 15, it says, let me read it from the book, the sum of a number and 2/5 of that number is 56. What is the number? The sum of a number and 2/5 of the number is 56. So let's see if we can write this out. The sum of the number and 2/5 of that same number is 56. Remember, of stands for multiply. So whenever we see of, we can always substitute multiply. So we have an equation that looks like x plus 2/5 of x is equal to 56. So some of our key words stands for of, and is stands for the equal sign. I'm not sure I can do that very well, but of is multiply, and is stands for the equal sign. So I think we can put a 1 in front of this. So I have 1x plus 2/5 of an x. So I think that is maybe 5/5 of an x plus 2/5 of an x. And that better be equal to 56. Remember, I just said 1x is the same as 5 over 5x, 1 over 1. So I say now 5/5 plus 2/5 is 7/5. So 7/5 of an x is equal to 56. Looks like we're almost done. We can multiply this side by 5 over 7. Let's multiply this side by 5 over 7. We got 7 over 5x, 5/5 plus 2/5. So I'm going to multiply that by its reciprocal. So we have 5 divided by 5 is 1. 7 divided by 7 is 1. We can, on the right-hand side, rewrite this. X turns out to be, oops, let me get some more room. Let's put this over here. I can rewrite this as x is equal to 56 over 1 times 5 over 7. I think 7 goes into 7 once. 7 goes into 56 8 times. 7 times 8 is 56. So if we multiply our numerators together, we end up with x is equal to 40, and our denominator is just a 1. So x turned out to be 40. Wasn't quite so bad once we got rid of the words and figured out what to do. Number 29 is a little more interesting. It says Mr. Horvath put some money into a savings account, and when he ended up all being done, he had $6,272, and that included the 6% of interest that he had picked up while the money was in there. So our equation looks like 6,272 is equal to, that's the is, x plus 0.06 of x. Remember, 6% is the same as 0.06 in decimal. I'm going to put my 1 in front of this x so that we don't get confused. So I have 1x plus 0.06x. So I think that turns out to be 1.06x. Remember, 1.00 plus 0.06. I lined up the decimals. 1.06. You're going to tell me divide both sides by 1.06, and that would be correct. We're going to cancel these out. 1.06 divided by 1.06. So I'm going to break out my calculator, and x turns out to be 5,916.98. There are some numbers after that, but that's what our example turns out to be, down to 2 decimal places. So 6,272 divided by 1.06, x turns out to be $5,916.98. Not so bad. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. End of chapter 3.